right, hopefully we are okay. But g'day guys and girls. Welcome back to the Race Spec Esports channel. It's Tuesday night, which means it is Regional Leagues night, and we're here for the final round of season number 4. My God, it's been an entertaining season right up and down the field. Considering I drove in the first 5 races of the season now. I've obviously now commentated quite a few races since probably, I don't know, round 7, I think, from the season in Australia. But the finale takes us to the beautiful Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. 4.309 kilometres, 2.677 miles, 2 DRS zones this time, 1 down the front straight and 1 down between turns 3 and 4. 15 corners make up this track here at Sao Paulo. It is quickly 10 to the... No, hang on, let me just double check. 10 to the left and 5 to the right counterclockwise in direction. Of course, it's the harder compounded tyres used around here, but that doesn't really matter too much around this joint. Let's just go straight into the action, shall we? I do apologise if there is a few drop frames here. As usual, my net is not the best. It's like I've said many a times before. We may get that from time to time. Hopefully I don't disconnect from time to time either, but we'll probably have to go through with it anyway. But here we are for the finale of season number 4. And good evening or good morning or afternoon, wherever you're watching, right around the world. Hopefully you're enjoying your Tuesday nights or your Tuesday morning or whatever time of day it is for you right about now. So we've got 13 runners here for Pacific Tier 3 once again. As they finish off their round of the season, as a Scooter Batata just absolutely hammers it into the pit lane. Lovely stuff there. So we've got a nice 13 runners like I mentioned here. There's a few missing. Let me just actually double check very quickly. I probably should have done this very quickly. Where are we? Let's look at the Race Spec Discord. I don't think... where is it here? Absence channels very quickly. Sorry guys, just... I don't think there was too many in the absence channel. No, it's only just WA Huddens that put in the absence channel this week, so I'm not sure entirely where everybody else is. But anyway, we've got under about 11 minutes to go here in qualifying. Of course, these guys could just have a little bit of fun because the championship is pretty much decided. I think Constructors is also decided as well. Oh, there goes a McLaren, goes way off the road there. I'm going to assume that was Power Sight. No, that was Stig on his outlap there. So, fortunately for him, did not get the greatest of runs out of the final. No, sorry, out of Jung Chao there. And MJJ goes to the top with a 7.526. I expect qualifying to be very, very close here around Brazil. It usually is a very close qualifying track, and well, the racing can be the same as well. I'd be surprised if we see a few people do the opposite strategy, because a bit hard to know really whether one is better than the other. Softs to mediums is probably the preferred way to go, but don't rule out mediums to softs. There's potential, or even going the hard compounded tyres, softs to hards potentially, if we get an early safety car, which is always very possible. But hopefully these guys don't go too mad over this weekend. So I think what Lunacy said in the chat, that potentially points could carry over into next season. So there was a couple of inquiries coming out from last week. Let me just see. Stig got a 10-second time penalty and 2 license points, which demote his position from Monaco from P6 to 7. And then obviously in turn Scooter Matata got jumped up from P7 to 6. So that gave him another valuable couple of points there. Not that it matters really too much here. So MJJ comes into the pit lane as we speak. But yeah, there was not too much to come out of it. I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest, but turned out to be a little bit quiet. But I'm guessing majority of these people are nearly sick of this game at this moment in time, and they'll be glad to finish up. Although whether any of these guys will have any other racing leagues to deal with once this season is done of Race Spec, whether they've got other leagues or not to finish up, then they could probably say goodbye to F1 2020, because let's just say it's not been one of the greatest games overall, and hopefully it's not. Hopefully F1 2021 is a lot better. Although I might be clutching straws there, very much so. But as Ash now goes to the top She dropped the ball with him to 7.242. And the racing point is nearly 0.3 quicker. Not quite. Let's see if we can go for somebody on a flying lap here. Let's see. Oh, that's Artie Cheng is just going through the center S's. A little bit sideways there. I think Smeg's just come into the pit lane as we speak. Let's show if anybody else actually on an outlap here. So we'll stick aboard here was Artie Cheng's. Down into Descida de Largo, turn 4. Take a little bit of curve, run out 2 wide. Now through turn 5. And up we go into Ferradura, I think, into turn 6. Pretty much an uphill climb this is. Nice and easy on the power. Don't run out 2 wide, otherwise you'll invalidate your lap time. Now through turn 8 and 9. This is probably the slowest corners on the track. And now into turn number 10. There's a yellow flag ahead. I think it's just the car just pulling out of the way. Looks like Chubasaurus Rex in the Williams. Now coming out of turn 11. Can run it out a little bit wide here to use a little bit of that AstroTurf if you wanted to into Zhong Chao. And now take it out of the final corner as there's Power Side just moving out of the way. So he might get a little slipstream here actually from Chubasaurus Rex if he wants. And then 14 and then coming out of 15. Come across the line. What's the time going to be? It's going to be P6. As he just runs out very wide there, and well, that just completes his lap. So 7.888 from Artie Cheng. So very nice lap for him. So it's Ash at the moment. Let me know your thoughts as well, guys, down in the live chat. I really love reading the comments so far this season. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe to the Race Spec Esports YouTube channel, and go follow their social media links and the Discord channel to keep an eye out. Well, especially the Discord if you want to come, maybe get yourself prepared for F1 2021. But keep an eye on the social media channels because they'll be obviously providing you updates with what's going on for Season 5. As always, big thank you. I probably should mention this as well. Big thank you to Go Workplace Training as well for sponsoring the Pacific Series. Because I'll be doing Tier 4 in about an hour and 15 minutes time as well. Plus there will also be, I assume there's going to be a Tier 2. I know Tier 1 is obviously Smeg is here, so I assume Tier 1 is going to happen. So have a stream, but I'm not sure about Tier 2. I assume that would be the case with Bot But I think pretty much majority of the championships are wrapped up. I don't really know if there's any championships still outstanding. I think nearly everyone's done. As Lunacy now jumps to the top with 7.223, so very nice lap from him. I had a pretty decent pace actually last week in Monaco, but it didn't pan out in the end. Still got a good result, I think, in it was a podium. I've really got to do some facts and stuff for next season, let's just say the least. Well, hopefully I'll be coming back next season. But we've already got a couple of guys in the chat. Volcanics, I'm doing all right. How about yourself, Volcanic? Yeah, doing all right. Yeah, survived your Monaco endeavours in RS4 early this week. Bags Liddell, obviously another one from hang on, I've just got to remember. RS4, yeah, he's in RS4, isn't he? Hopefully it's better, but not exactly holding my breath. I think you're talking about F1 2021. Yeah, I think that'll be nearly what majority, what everyone would say here. But hopefully the next game is not really a turn-off for more people, because I know a few people are just umming and ahhing a little bit about whether they will purchase the next game or not, but I'm hoping there is a few guys that will do that. I certainly have. I've already pre-ordered my copies of F1 2021 on both Xbox and PlayStation. Oh, sorry, if you want to be more specific, it's Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 versions, considering they've got their own games in version now. And of course, they still come out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One S, well, for the original Xbox. That not the original Xbox, but you know what I mean. Xbox One S or X or whatever else there is, I can't remember. But and I assume there'll be PC there as well. Hopefully, majority of these guys return next season. You know, there may be some guys that may return on consoles, or whether they go to PC or not. Seems to be the way they're going at the moment. The majority of people going to PC. I know, obviously, Volcanic, I mentioned it earlier. Oh, well, when I say earlier, I mean on Sunday night stream. But I think you're making the transition to PC next season, although you still got your PS4, so you might keep that handy just in case you need it on the PlayStation side of things. But So that's power side just run out of fuel there. I must apologise as well. If you were watching the RS4 tier on Sunday, I think I said the regional leagues then as well. I meant to say it was the Race Spec League. So yeah, I apologise about that one. But anyway. So we're going to 3 minutes 30 to go here at the moment. So Lunacy leads the way, 7.223. So he just goes out on his outlap, looking for a bit of fresh air. Ash is in second at the moment on the front row of the grid. Then it's MJJ in third, Johnny in fourth, Metz in fifth. So a nice job from Alpha Romeo. Pup Mastiff there in sixth. Artie Cheng seventh. Stig in eighth. Sorry, I was just looking at the screen there for a minute. Power Sight in ninth, and that's Otis Crook there in 10th. So there's probably a couple of gamer tags that you won't see. I think they joined late or had some issues with the lobby. Then it's Schooner Matata in 11th. That's Chubasaurus Rex in 12th. Who's already retired, and he's already been the crowned champion of Tier 3, so he can pretty much have a little bit of fun. There's Smeek there currently in position 13. I'm surprised at the moment he's down that far down the grid, but I think there's still some minor placings just to settle out, or to settle at this round. That probably can say can be said for constructors. Give it a few years at Xbox, will have an entire alphabet of consoles. Yeah, probably right. They've gone through, what is it, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, Series X, S, you know, all this sort of stuff. Maybe X, Y, Z, A, B, you know, oh, God almighty. But anyway, that's the way it is anyway. So, like I said, I'm hoping the majority of these guys will come back for Season 5. If my memory serves me correctly, I think Season 3 had, for Pacific tier, 6 or 7 tiers, I think, from memory to start the season. But then obviously we only got the 4 tiers for Season 4, so hopefully we can expand once again. But can Lunacy maintain his pole position? So he's about to set off for his final flying lap here, I would say. Well, he actually might have just completed his lap. It sets a 7 flats. So that is going to be hard to beat unless someone can potentially have put themselves into the 6s. Don't rule it out as he invalidates going through the first couple through the center S's, but I don't think he really needs to worry about it too much. Who's Schooner Matata's jumped into the 10 into 7th with a 7.816. Nice gearbox glitch as always. Who else is just starting a lap? That's Artie. No, sorry, that's Honest Crook there. He's just starting a flying lap. Who else is also on a flying lap? Not sure if MJJ was on a flyer or not. This might be just starting his flying lap, actually. So Ash just trying to get out of his teammate's road there. He's invalidated, so I think he's just trying to find some space. It is tricky. Hopefully he hasn't invalidated this lap and the next one, because that'll be... no, it looks like he hasn't, but he's just looking straight for... Oh, my words, Meg. What the hell just happened? As Ash gets sideways coming out of the center S's. It is tricky to get on the power very quickly, but he can't do it. So who's going to be the first one here to finish his lap? I think, well, Schooner Matata is still pushing by the looks of things. Artie Cheng's has been cutting it close. Literally cutting it close, but I think he's in the pit lane right, so Artie Cheng's is really cutting it close, but might be just helping his teammate out a little bit as well. Here comes Honest Crook. Goes to the front row of the grid. A 7.226. Nice lap there from Honest Crook there. As the checkered flag now comes out. Can MJJ go back to the front row? He can with a 7.186. He puts himself on the front row. Can anybody else make a play for that one? Because there's going to be traffic, obviously. You have to find space. Metz is invalidated, so he won't be improving. He's currently position 6 at the moment. That'll be him done. What about Stig? Is he going to improve his lap time? You have to take the shortest line here to see if he can improve. Crosses the line as there's a big crash. Oh, that's a big crash. Stig does not improve at all. Pup Mastiff, I don't think he has improved. Johnny doesn't improve as they all try and avoid crash cars on the front straight. Ash doesn't improve. I think that's pretty much it. Oh no, sorry, we were just waiting on Artie Cheng's, of course. But after that, I think the teammate, Honest Crook, can pretty much finish up because he's done. Power Sight's in the pit lane, so he can retire or just wait 2 minutes. What about Artie Cheng's? Goes to 7th, only avoids the crash cars on the front straight. Yeah, anybody else going to go anywhere near it, I wonder? Come on, go near the crash cars, I beg you. Go AI cars. Look at that. There's the sight you want to see. Stig and Metz crashed out on the front straight there. Obviously, Metz did that across the line, and then Stig just slammed into his car once he finished across the line, obviously. So, but anyway, we're just now waiting on Honest Crook to retire. Nice glitch, as always. Typical. What the hell is that noise, honestly? Yeah, that's a sign you don't expect to see when he finishes a flying lap. Yes, most definitely. And his car's still reversing. Even after that, his car's not damaged. But anyway, we'll focus. So Lunacy gets pole position here for the Brazilian Grand Prix. MJJ on the front row of the grid. Just not quite 2/10 to catch up to him there. So he'll start in the front row. Honest Crook there in third. Then it's Ash in fourth. Johnny in fifth. Metz in sixth. Artie Cheng's in seventh. Pump Mastiff in eighth on the medium competitor tyres. So that's one to keep an eye on. Skinner Batata in ninth. And Stig Rands at your 10. And outside power side, Smeg and Chubasaurus Rex. And at your 13 car field. So those guys will probably more likely go into the mediums. But we'll wait and see on that one. So while these guys work out strategies, I don't think there's going to be any rain, but we'll find out in a moment. I'll take a quick breather and we'll be back shortly. Back, and that's how the driver's standings look. So it's 35 points between Chubasaurus Rex and Smeg. So the championship is basically done and dusted. Still some minor placings to sort out, like I mentioned earlier. So Smeg has not quite wrapped up second in the championship as of yet. Lunacy could really spoil the party if he wanted to. He's only 14 points behind at the moment. That'll probably be why my net's having a shocker, because apparently my game Fortnite's just updated. Okay, fair enough. And it's very close as well. Schooner Matata in fourth, only another couple of points behind, and Putt Mastiff here in fifth. So there could be some moves up and down the championship order. Of course, we won't have the final overall standings after this round, of course. So it's Artie Cheng's in sixth, Stig in seventh, TCF Old Boy in eighth, Honest Crook ninth, and Ash in 10th. And you can probably tell where everybody is up and down the field. There's the Constructors. Renault, I think confirmed, are the Constructors champions for Season 4. So well done to Lunacy and to Schooner Matata there. Racing Point have not quite wrapped up second in the championship, and the way Chubasaurus Rex has been pulling that Williams car, they could literally flip around after this weekend. So they're close to 5 points difference between second and third. And Alpha Tauri in fourth, Mercedes in fifth, just narrowly ahead of Haas in sixth, McLaren in seventh, Alfa Romeo in eighth, Red Bull in ninth, and Ferrari rounding out your top 10 because there's no Ferrari drivers, so they'll probably be finishing last in this season. So let's quickly, we're under overcast skies here, as well, not that one, we need this telemetry. So like I said, majority in the top 10 are starting on the tyres they set their lap times on. So that's 9 of them are starting on softs, and of course Pump Mastiff starting on the mediums. Outside the 10, a little bit surprised actually. Power Slide the only one starting on the mediums. So interesting to keep an eye on that one. The weather could play a factor in this as well. Smeg and Chubasaurus Rex are also starting on softs. As we have the 5 red lights for the finale here in Pacific Tier 3. For one final time, away we go here in Brazil. It's a good start for the pole sitter, and I think he'll lean into turn 1. So Lunacy does set the jump over the Red Bull of MJJ. Side by side there. Oh, there's contact in the background as one of the Alpha Tauris has gone for a spin. I would not be doubted if he's got damage. Can't work out which one it is. It's Artie Cheng's there, as the graphic is already glitched already, and it's not even finished lap 1, yeah, for goodness sake. But it is Lunacy that does lead the way still, as it'll rectify itself like it usually does around Sector 2. So Artie Cheng's not the greatest of starts for him, and he's got wing damage, so he'll probably have to come in early on. But I think majority have maintained their position. There might be some moves up and down the field, of course. Somehow there's blue flags showing on the graphic. I don't know why that is. Don't tell me this lobby is freaking glitched, as it usually is. But one of the McLaren's is going wide there, coming out of turn 10. As they come all through Jung Chao. Probably not a lot of guys using that AstroTurf like probably some of the top tier guys would do, but they're just probably taking it nice and cautiously through here. Don't really know what the weather forecast is. Here goes up the inside, potentially. Stig and Johnny. Up the inside goes Metz around the outside of Honest Crook. Okay, what the hell's going on here? He's ghosting apparently on my screen. This seems a little bit weird. Is it? Oh God, is it rectifying itself again? Is it 2 and 2 laps? Fair dinkum. We're definitely not on lap 3. The DRS is not open, so Papa Stiff and Johnny going side by side here up to the hill at turn 6. It's going to be hard to do it around the outside, but he does the Mercedes driver, so he gets up in the 7th position. There's Scooter Batata there in the foreground, so have to keep an eye on Papa Stiff. There's potential weather. He could play himself into this race. There's Metz and Honest Crook, sorry. I gotta get that mixed up quite a bit. They continue fighting, or somebody's around. Well, somebody's lost a couple of spots there, but Scooter Batata's taking the full advantage up into 7th. Oh, there goes Papa Stiff off into the Bernie's there. You don't want to get reset the track there, because sometimes it does reset the track if you go too far in the infield, but that drops him all the way back to last place. Not ideal. So Johnny and now Power Sight are battling for 8th and 9th, and Power Sight now gets that position for 8th. And Lunacy set the fastest lap of the race. I think it was like a 10 something or other. I don't know, I was too busy focusing on the other one, but we are finishing on lap 3. DRS is enabled. There goes the Alfa Romeo of Johnny back up the inside of Power Sight and gets it done. This is a little bit wide, as I think Chubasaurus Rex has disconnected by the look of it, so I might see if I can quickly, if he's actually online. If he's not online, then that's a worry. Let's see, Chubasaurus Rex. I think he did say he was having some internet issues, so Smeg's trying to put a bit of pressure on his AI car, so not that it matters too much, really. Of course, Chubasaurus Rex did wrap up the championship back at Monaco last week. Which you have not seen that race, go check it out, because it was certainly entertaining up and down the field. And go check out all the other Tier 3 races as well that I've done throughout this season. MJJ now 10.08.60, the fastest lap of the race in 2nd spot. You see he was chasing down that Renault in front of Lunacy. One of the last few times that we'll get to know some of these cars in their car liveries before 2021 comes out. Going to be weird saying goodbye to the Renault livery and the Renault brand before it becomes obviously Alpine. Side by side goes Stig and the AlphaTauri of Honest Crook. Up the hill we go. Be tricky. Still side by side here. Up the hill we go into turn 6, just giving each other enough room, and as Honest gets up the inside, but it's still side by side just, but as he gets that move done, back up into 5th position now for Honest Crook. They can chase after Metz there in the foreground. And also Racing Points. Last time we get to see the pink livery before they become Aston Martin for 2021. There'll probably be a few other livery changes. Williams livery, of course, will get a big update. I've mentioned this many times. Let's go back to the front. 0.4 of a second. So we begin lap 5 here of 36. It's a long way to go here. They've got to take these soft compounded tyres a fair way if they want to make the softs to mediums work. As up the inside again goes Stig on Honest Crook. They're going to go around the outside. I think Stig must have the DRS. He does. Must have underfueled the car because he's got the yellow fuel light on. At the brake deep around the outside in the turn into Zeta de Largo. But he gets it done. Had to do it the hard way, but he gets it done. Back up into 5th spot now for the Stig. Be an interesting battle to keep an eye on this one. Pup Mastiff is slowly but surely catching up to the AI car of Chuposaurus Rex. Of course, there's still a long, long way to go, of course. But if it were to stay like this, I would believe Lunacy would probably claim 2nd in the championship. If it stayed like this, obviously he's leading the way. We've got 25 points in the bag, and Smeg's currently in 10th. So I really need to have a look at the point standings again. I still haven't gotten used to them. And yet again, obviously, where is it? I should have put it in a picture somewhere. We're keeping out at lap 6. So JJ will just be staying in the slipstream, probably just not doing anything silly. No point fighting this early in the race. There's still a long, long way to go. Just got to bide your time, pick the right time to get past. Goes a little bit wide as Johnny gets their first time penalty of the race in 8th position. I'd say that was probably a corner cut going through turn 4. Be a joy to see that Alpine livery in the new game. Ain't that the case? But yeah, shame we won't get the McLaren Golf livery. It wasn't a bad livery, I've got to say. I was actually impressed with what the McLaren did, obviously because it was a new partnership with Golf, I think it was. So I think it's only just a one-off livery as well. But it would be great to see if he maybe have the odd one-off livery from time to time in the game. But he's under attack here as Power's sight. Took it off. There's Smeg there in the foreground. He's closing in here in that racing point. Be now is Aston Martin. Up the inside goes Smeg. It gets 9th place. It's going to Batata now, 3-second time penalty. And I think Arnie Chengs may have joined that gang as well. Currently in 11th place. So Power's sight, the leading medium compound runner. So we'll try and get the DRS back, but I don't think he's too far. Quite close enough to get a move done, so Smeg holds on to 9th for now. Wait and see whether he can fight back once again. Here it is, I should have seen it. So now 9th place, so if he stayed 10th, it would have got him 6 points, and it would see the race leaders. Oh, hello, change for the lead. I missed this somewhere. I apologise, but I missed this. So MJJ's taken the lead. So it must have been a little error just coming out of Jung Chao. If you get the corner, coming out of the corner wrong, then it'll cost you big time, and it has for Lunacy. He'll still fight back for the time being. He's in the middle of this pack here with MJJ now leading, ahead of Lunacy and Ash. They've pulled a gap already to the next group, which is Mets in 4th place. Tries to get on the DRS. You do burn a lot of ERS around here as well, so you got to manage your ERS usage around here as well. You see here, none of these guys, I don't think Ash is just biding his time at the moment, not even bothering at the ERS, but these guys probably may use a little bit on the straights. But other than that, they'd probably no point doing it around these slower corners. Look how tight this is. Nearly 0.6 of a second, I think, covers this top 3. Keep an eye as well as the battle with Stig and Honest Crook there for 5th and 6th. The quicker these laps go by, the quicker we get to the pit stop, as Ash just runs a little bit wide there, so he'll lose a bit of momentum. But he'll still get the DRS, which will be critical. Just Lunacy go think about it. It's not really ideal potentially to just go for the move here at turn 1, although he wouldn't be a bad option, of course. Your best bet's probably to get the move done at turn 4 to Cine de Largo. So you can see you've got the run here as MJJ covers the inside line, or drives down the middle actually to make him go the long way. And I think Lunacy will just pop back in. He'll try to do the switch back if he can. We have to go on an outboard shot here of this one. Up the hill we go. Make sure you give each other racing room. I don't think MJJ gave him racing room there. Just gave him a little bit of a squeeze. Oh, Ash goes for a bold move up the inside now at turn 8. He's on the wrong side now for turn 9. Oh, Lunacy gets the back end sideways there. And just manages to hang on. It's just allowed MJJ just to pull away a little bit, but if you can get that outside the 1 second bracket, then it'd be maybe difficult to maybe get this race for the race victory. It made no sense at all. See, Ash is pretty much closing to the back here of Lunacy, but again, he's not using ERS as MJJ's got nothing, had nothing left earlier on, so it's still under 1 second covering his top three. They keep fighting, of course, then it'll just allow Metz, although he's not really gaining, it's just little bits of time, but not really a lot of time here at the moment, so change for position here. Power side and Artie Changs have come together. That's gone Artie in half a spin. Thankfully, he managed to save it before going for a full spin. I think he's been in the wars this whole race. I think he was the one that got wing damage. Yes, he is. So he's literally been in the wars so far as Artie. We still haven't got Chuposaurus Rex, so I'm going to say his internet's not the best. I'll send him another invite, but I don't think it'll be much use, really. Very, very quickly. I think he's mentioned this already in the Tier 3 chat. And if it was an issue, then probably just continue on. Still, this back gap here is pretty much all the same. I'd be surprised potentially if you see someone try and undercut here to try and jump one another. Although, you don't want to be potentially leading till right near the end of this race. You want to be at the right spot at the right time, as Honest Crook and Stig still battle on for position, as I think Honest has got back past for 5th. Can he pull away enough to hang on down this straight as the two medium compound runners are switched? Papa Stiff now clears power sight. So he's going to have to try and make a bit of a recovery here. Look at the benefit of obviously fresh air once all the guys in front of him do pit. If he didn't have that spin earlier on, he might have been potentially up a little bit higher. Look at this group here. It's still close. We jump aboard here with Ash in the racing point. No one wants to give an edge. A little bit sideways there for MJJ in the Red Bull. But just manages to get away with it for now. So Ash just uses a little bit of the AstroTurf, but not too much out of Zhong Chao. There's a little bit of sun poking through the clouds, so we might be just overcast for the rest of this race potentially. You see the lights are flashing there on the rear of the cars in front, so obviously using a lot more ERS. Usually that's a sign that they're under 10% ERS usage. So Ash can notice that. He just bide his time a little bit. You can see now he uses a bit more overtake. Just jump aboard with Lunacy, but again, just couldn't quite get the driver. Stick gets a 3-second time penalty. Again, just probably just biding his time a little bit, not doing anything too silly. Metz is not really caught up to this like I thought potentially he may do if these guys continue to fight, but they're just doing their own races, of course. Schooner Matata and Johnny have now switched. They just pushed him a little bit wide there, but he's up in the 7th spot now as a Schooner Matata. They go up the hill. Did not look good with a little bit of lag there. Just double check. Yeah, no, it's not me dropping frames. Back to this cradle here at the front. It's an interesting shot we want to see here. But we're getting closer now as in comes Lunacy. So he's trying to do an undercut here. He gets to slow down. No, he doesn't. Got to get under 80k an hour. And unfortunately, that's going to cost him big time, Lunacy. So barring nothing happens later on, and he's going to get a hard cop out of tyres considering he's pitted this early. You usually want to pit around about half race distance or near or there between to do the soft to medium strategy. He's got to now try to do something different and go nuts. As you can see, he gets sideways coming out of the pit lane. He'll drop in behind Power Sight, I think. Got enough of a gap. Some cautions out of the pit lane exit. I've done that before where if you don't get the pit lane exit right, it could cost you, and it did cost me big time, let me tell you. There's a video on my channel about it. There's a link down below in the description if you want to see my YouTube channel or follow me on social media. That'll be going off for 6th spot. So I wonder if anybody out of this top 2 is going to to maybe follow Lunacy and just cover him just in case there's an undercut here, as actually both these guys do. So no one doing this off to hard. Get it slowed down as both these guys just managed to do so. So now it'll mean Metz goes to the lead. Honest Crook has come into the pit lane, got that one right. It's going to be mediums for MJJ. This is going to be a long, long stint on the mediums as Ash goes on the hards and probably will get held up a little bit. This looks like a wing being ready at Alfa Romeo. That looks like for Johnny. Honest Crook's in and out for the hards. It's also hards. So where's Lunacy out of all of this? Here we go. I don't think he's really gained anything. No, he hasn't. So that trying an undercut has failed, unfortunately, for Lunacy. Of course, MJJ's on a much grippier tyre, but of course he'll have probably a lot more wear later on in the race, which will mean, excuse me, that the hard compounded tyres will come back into life later on. Of course, they've got to manage this traffic a little bit as well. These guys that haven't pitted. MJJ is trying to get past Power Sight. He really wants to. What about these guys? Are any of them going to go soft to mediums, or they're going to try soft to hards? There's Meg in fifth. We get on this battle for with the Scooter Matata and Pump the Stiff there as well. No one's biting the bullet from either of those guys. So actually, Scooter Matata now finally pits. Somebody followed him. No, it was just him. Okay, so this is the you can see there powered by AWS graphics. This is the apparently the window for the softer medium. So as Scooter Matata does that, and he comes into the pit lane as well. So it'll be an Alpha Tauri front wing ready for him. So Chubasaurus Rex's AI cars also come into the lane as well. So let's go back to this. Lunacy's trying to get past Power Sight. It's not really helping his cause. You want to try and get past him as quick as he can. He's going to go for a move up the inside. There's a little bit of contact. I think he wanted to, so he's just giving Power Sight a little bit of a nudge there. Don't know whether he's just saying, hello, I'm here, or I'm not really happy for that. As he thinks about it, going into turn 10, but no can do. Can't afford to let MJJ get away too quickly. Get a good run out of here. So you get the DRS, obviously. So the top two now finally pit. So Metz and Stig are in. I've got a Shinner going to go mediums. As there goes Lunacy past Power Sight. They can try to close that gap back to MJJ. So it's, yep, mediums for Metz and Stig. They'll obviously, who's that battling for position? That was Ash trying to get past Power Sight. He has. So didn't want to be stuck behind that McLaren for too much longer. He wants to keep in touch with Lunacy. Importantly, that gap is starting to gain a little bit more for MJJ. Don't want to push too early. Want to have a little bit of grip up your sleeve, especially considering he's on the mediums and probably was a lap or two early. What you usually pit for the mediums. So we're just still waiting on a couple of guys still to pit. Obviously, Smeg, the last remaining soft compounded tyre runner. And then we've got Pump the Stiff and Power Sight also was shimming, doing the opposite strategy, mediums to soft. So they can go a little bit longer than the mediums, but probably not for too much longer, depending on how long they want to run on their soft compounded tyres. Wall on the pit extra sure has done its damage over the years. That's you can say that again. Smeg car finally comes into the pit lane and gets it under 80k an hour. Doesn't really need to do anything silly here. Just nice and cautious. Although, like I mentioned earlier, he's still fighting for Lunacy in the championship. So whoever finishes higher up. Metz gets a 3-second time penalty. So Smeggy onto the mediums. He'll come out. Can you give me a better shot here? I'm telling you, the guys go back into the garage and you're not giving me the shot. Why is it showing me Smeg doing that? I don't know. Stig and Honest Crook are still battling their way in their positions. 7th and 8th now. So it finally shows me Smeg. Thank you. So it's 3.5 seconds between Pump the Stiff and MJJ. But effectively, it'll be 1.8 seconds between MJJ and Lunacy. This is what he needs, really, does MJJ. Well, if Lunacy does catch back up, of course, later on, he needs to get past MJJ as quickly as possible and build up a 5-second gap if he has any chance of winning this race. Otherwise, he may lose a spot to Ash as well behind, who's giving him company at the moment. There goes Metz up the inside of Power Sight. So wait and see whether he's got any grip. He'll probably have plenty of it, considering these guys in front are on, well, it's still early on in their days of the hard competitor tyres, but you never know, there's still potential. Yep, you're not wrong there, Banks Liddell. Excellent camera work there, just showing me the pit area, but no smeg for some unknown reason, but we finally got that right. Johnny, another 3-second time penalty. He's down in 11th spot. There's not really too much going on at the moment. Ash is, like I said, keeping Lunacy company here. Keep it in that 1-second window. You can still fight him. The gap will obviously to and fro. Probably might depend on setup a little bit. Whether they've gone for a little bit of downright straight line speed or something for the slower corners. We'll have to keep an eye on that. So that gap goes out even more now as Ash is still in the DRS window. This has got to be cautious as well. He's a bit tight on fuel by the looks of things, so must have underfueled the car. Seems a bit weird. I would have thought you'd have a little bit of fuel up your sleeve, especially around here. There might be a switch here at the McLaren boys for 6th and 7th. Nice gearbox glitch as always, Cody's. Stick goes around the outside and yeah, Power Side just lets him go. It's fair enough. You're in 2 separate races, don't need to do anything silly. Now Honest Crook will try and catch back up. Really got the pace at the moment, although saying that he's on the hard competitor tyre, so that might be part of the reason why. Excuse me. Gap is slowly but surely coming down. And of course, there'll be the benefit of the hard competitor tyres. We're just starting to get into their window. Mediums can go a little bit longer, but then they'll start to wear out later on. Papa Steph still continues on, so he'll be pushing on as we begin lap 20 of 36. Usually want to push on a little bit just to make sure you can get your soft compounder tyres home. Might push for the fastest lap of the race later on, which is currently... let's look at the time penalties as we speak. Ash is still within the DRS window, but for how much longer? Probably won't be for too much longer. Let's go back to Honest Crook. Quite close enough to the back of Power Sight. So it's 5 seconds for Lunacy. See, barring the safety car or an issue when he has to make another pit stop, he'll have to cop that one for the end of the race. Medson, Stig, and Skuna Matata on 3 seconds. Johnny on 9 seconds, and Arnie Cheng's on 6. Keep a close eye on this one for the time being. Might be just starting to get a little bit finer. What's the word? It's getting a little bit clearer now. It's just starting to break through a little bit, so it's probably the way to go. As race leader, Pumper Stiff is now in the pit lane as his car keeps moving while I'm trying to find him. But he's now going to go into the soft competitor tyres and have a little bit of fun. See a long pit lane, Mercedes being one of the first garages. The livery's not really tweaking too much. It'll still be the black livery, but of course it's just to be a little bit different. All the AMG logo, which I was not a big fan of, to say the least. So you'll pop in behind Skuna Matata, so that's not too bad. Actually, nearly side by side with Skuna Matata. I think Honest Crook has cleared Power Sight for 6th. That gearbox glitch is going to annoy me for the rest of this race, I'll say that. Oh, Ash getting a little bit sideways there. Just keeping Lunacy honest, that would have lost him a little bit of margin. See, they'll close up here through the slow section into Jung Chao. So if Ash keeps Lunacy honest here, it might just allow MJJ just pull away here. Though you can see, it seems to be that Lunacy gains in the slower corners, but then on the straights, MJJ looks like it's got better straight line speed. Like I said, it's probably down to setup, obviously, but Back we go to Pump Stiff here. He's closing into the back of the Skinner Batata, and I don't think there's really much of a fight here as he goes purple in the final sector. You have to go deep around the outside. Skinner Batata will fight. As he gets it done, as there's been a change as well, because Ash has cleared Lunacy. So what's happened with Lunacy? That's a bit of a weird one there, but it's now cleared Ash to have a crack at MJJ for the race win, pretty much. There's obviously now that puts Lunacy, well, he may still be in this fight, but obviously the 5-second penalties will probably cost him a little bit later on. A little bit wide there in the grass, but he'll keep Ash honest. Must have just made a little error somewhere along the line, maybe coming out of the center S's or through the curve of the Sol. Keep an eye out for that one. Don't be surprised if you see that Mercedes a Pump Steve set the fast lap of the race. Try and have a look here. Like I said, you don't want to really pass down here at turn 1. The ideal passing opportunities down into the Cita de Largo at turn 4. It's a better run. That didn't look too bad. A little bit sideways. Metz another 3-second time penalty as Power Sight now finally comes into the pit lane. We'll keep an eye on this one as they keep switching around. As they're going to go side by side. A little ghosting for a second then. They're still going side by side here up the hill, but it'll be Ash's corner into turn 6 unless you can try to crisscross. But no, he's not really quite close enough. And these guys continuing to battle just allows MJJ to just pull away a little bit more. There's a Skinner Batatas come in for the softs. Power Sight's onto the hard competitor tyres. Just let me double check that. Where is it? Yeah, it is. It must have been an unscheduled stop there for Skinner Batata because he's down back to 12th and now on the soft compounder tyres. We'll have a look at the positions change maybe a little bit later on. What are we looking for? So it was a 9.612 there for Pump Stiff, new fastest lap of the race. Keep an eye on this. It's the wrong one. And again, these guys continue to fight. Doesn't seem like one driver is quicker than the other at the moment. They're just toing and froing one little bit. It's just allowing MJJ just to pull away as he goes for the switchback right to left. Using every single bit of ERS. That was close between he and Ash, but he get away with it. As up the hill we go once again. This is actually the closest battle we've got on track at the moment, so there probably won't be too much happening for the time being. So well and truly obviously past the halfway mark of the race. Oh, Ash getting a little bit wide there and maybe just getting on the power a little bit too early. So they're sort of both using the AstroTurf there going into Zhongzhou, but now Lunacy is burning up his ERS. Probably be saving it if I were him. He's obviously got nothing left. He gets back in the second spot now. Of course, that'll mean Ash will have to fight back. He gets the better drive out of here. I don't think he's really close enough for a move. We'll jump up forward with Ash. But again, it's just in that DRS window still, but not really quite close enough for a move. So, bide his time once again. So obviously, Ash probably didn't use any of his ERS. That's probably why there's a difference. You can see the red light flashing on the back of that Renault. Lunacy's pushing with that, some of that ERS just to try and stay in front, but Ash is doing the cautious thing. Oh, it gets sideways! And there it goes. Oh no, there goes an opportunity for a podium. Well, potentially a victory, but oh no, Ash. Well, on current rate at the moment, obviously Racing Point may still actually get second in the Constructors' Championship. Obviously, you know, Chupasaurus Rex. Does Ash have to make an unscheduled pit stop? No, he's going to fight on. He's got a bit of wing damage on the left-hand side, I can see. No end plate. There goes Stig looking for a move. And there goes an opportunity. And now to just frees up Lunacy a little bit to have a crack at trying to close that gap back to MJJ. Now Metz is up in the third spot. So Stig there just trying to put a bit of pressure there as he goes on the inside. Too far back, I think, for a move there. No, you can't really try for a move up the hill. From that far back anyway. So you think about it. Does, but not quite close enough there. And Pump Stiff is closing onto the back of Honest Crook for 6th place. It's a weird gearbox glitch. I think that's for Stig. Potentially, I'm not sure, but it's definitely one gearbox. Sounds very weird. Now Stig will be using quite a lot of overtake. Oh, that's close. Very close. Look at each other there, but I don't think Ash can fight with too much here. He can battle on, but the damage from the wing is a bit too much. As Pump Stiff now sets another fast lap of the race and gets 6th spot at 109.545 in the Mercedes. Now Stig will have to try and hang on as here comes Ash. So probably the wrong move there as he goes back up the inside. There's going to be contact. Still pushing. He goes side by side into the grass. Goes Stig there. But he just manages to hang on for now. And I think now he should start to pull away. Now probably, hopefully, save a little bit of fuel just to make sure he gets to the end of the race without running out of fuel. There's Smeg at the moment. He's in 8th. Being closed in by Johnny at the moment. Probably the noise I'm hearing. Schooner Matata may go for a move on Artie Chengs as well. That's what could be for position. We're getting to the closing stages of Season 4 of Pacific Tier 3. Lap 28 of 36. So you can think the Williams in the foreground is actually nearly going to be lapped here. So, like I said earlier, not that it matters too much for Chubbasaurus Rex because obviously wrapped up the championship last week. He probably would have had a good crack at it, I reckon, to get Williams into 2nd in the Constructors' Championship, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. I think if you disconnect before the race start, you won't get classified. You will get classified as a disconnect, I think. So here we go. This will be interesting. Oh, that's tight, but Schooner Matata gets past Artie Chengs for 11th place now. The gearbox glitch is really annoying me at the moment. And now Pump Stiff here will push on onto the back of Ash. Stig's pulled away, obviously, by 1.4 seconds. Right onto the grass. The gap at the front starting to close as well, so 1.4 seconds. Another probably to and fro. Does Pump Stiff go for the move now, or does he wait? I think he's not going to bother waiting around here, although you never know what you might see with that straight line speed of that Racing Point as he goes in deep into turn 1. It'll put him under attack from Ash. Might have to fight on here if he's going to have any chance of hanging on to 5th spot here. Ash does get the DRS. I don't think he's quite close enough for a move as Johnny has got past Smeg up into 8th spot now. I'm going to burn a bit of ERS here. So he's just trying to break the slipstream there. So Johnny hangs on for now. Might actually start to pull away here because it's just probably the time when the hard compounded tyres come into fruition. That probably explains why this gap is starting to close at the front here. Now 1.2 seconds, so Lunacy's really pushing by the looks of things. Again, to be the straight line speed of that Red Bull. It drags it back down to 1.5 seconds now, so the gap will be probably toing and froing a little bit, so Lunacy will probably make up quite a bit through the slower corners, but straights and the straights, looks like MJJ's got a little bit more at the current moment. Lunacy be trying to get back into that DRS range and want to try and get back, like I said earlier, to get past MJJ and build a 5-second gap if he has any chance of winning this race. He may still hang on to 2nd spot here, not 100% sure on that one yet. Depends on whether Metz has still got any speed left in an Alfa Romeo. I think he's, let me just double check. Oh no, he's only got 6 seconds, so my apologies. He might actually still hang on to second spot, barring any mishaps, of course. Keep an eye on that Mercedes because he's starting to close in here. Can't afford to bunker down here. There's not many laps here. Laps are starting to run out here. The Brazilian Grand Prix. We begin lap 31 or 36. 6 laps to go. If my memory serves me correctly. It's a little bit sideways. You can tell he's pushing. As Pop Mastiff now gets up into 4 spots. This is a good recovery drive. Probably now imagine how higher up he would have been had he not had that spin earlier on coming out of Zhengzhou. Turn 12 and 13. He probably would have been in that fight for the podium if not for the win. Potentially. The car of Chaposaurus Rex is already a lap down, obviously. But on current rate, if it stayed this way, was obviously Lunacy in second, and Pup Mastiff in obviously fourth. Scooter Batata's 11th, and Smeg in 9th. So you get 20 points for second spot, and only you get. The Pup Mastiff tries to get past the ghost car of Chaposaurus Rex, which you'll do nicely. So 9th scores you 7 points. So it's a 13-point swing. I really need to do the math very quickly. So the gap's now under a second, but Lunacy has got to go now. He cannot afford to waste time. He's got enough of a gap just to make sure that he doesn't lose a spot to Metz. So it was 14 points the difference between Lunacy and Smeg for second in this championship. And the Scooter Matata was only a point behind in fourth, but he's currently 11th place at the moment. You can tell he's pushing. Look at him. Trying to make up ground through the slower corners. So on current rate, like I said, I think he would get second in the championship. So that's a... hang on. Let me just double check that. It'd be 13-point gain and it'd be 14... No, maybe not. So he'd probably just fall just short of second in the championship by only a single solitary point. Oh, MJJ goes wide. The medium starting to wear out. He needs to get by him here. Lunacy does to have a chance of potentially getting second in this championship. He'll get the DRS as well, which will be a bonus. So now he takes the race lead back. So now he's got to push like hell to get past. As Honest Crook gets by Ash for 6th place. The Ash will pretty much have to push on now. Can't do anything about it with the front wing damage as they get past the ghost car of Chaposaurus Rex. So if he, I say this is a big if he builds this 5-second gap, then he will get second in the championship. But that's a big if. He needs to push on now. Well, he's still got some grip up his sleeve because obviously the mediums will probably start to die off now. And MJJ did come in a little bit earlier than what it usually is for the pit window for the mediums. So it'll depend as well on the straight line speed because MJJ with the DRS was going to be helped out here big time. He's running out of laps here. 3 to go. But I think Pup Mastiff, he's only 7 points behind a Scooter Matata. And he's currently 4th at the moment, plus the fastest lap, I think from memory. Let me just double check. Yes, a 9.45, so he'll get the extra bonus point. So that'll be 14 points, and Scooter Matata's in 11th, only scores 5 points. So that's a swing of 9, is that correct? 9 points, so that'll mean Pup Mastiff could get 4th in the championship. So there's plenty of permutations still to play out here. Look how close Lunacy is actually to the fastest lap. With a 9.690. Not really bad, but a tenth and a half off Pup Mastiff's fastest lap time on the softs, so that's not too bad. As Artie Cheng's is in the pit lane. This is for a wing change. He's gone for the set of soft compounded tyres, so he's got not many chances left if he wants to try and get the fastest lap of the race. So he now just breaks out of that 1 second window, but he needs to go nuts or hope MJJ gets a puncture in these last 2 laps. 2 to go here. He'd be really hoping that it maybe a puncture happens to MJJ to have any hope of winning this race and potentially getting second in the championship. If he finishes second, that won't be enough. I think potentially Smeg could even get 8th spot off Johnny, because I know he's got time penalties. Quite a lot of them, actually, so this could cost Johnny big time. Got to do the permutations once again. So if he gets 8th, that's 8 points compared to 25 points. So do the maths, folks. It's going to be tight. So I'm just trying to do the maths in my head. 17 points. That's if it were to stay like this, but I don't think he's got enough. We'll have to do this quickly. There's the movers and shakers. So Stig up 5 spots, best of the lot so far. Pup Stiff up 4, 3 for Metz and Smeg, and 1 for Power Side. The biggest loser has been Artie Cheng's down 5 as I think he's just gone for a spin. No, that was Honest Crook. That actually went for a spin. So he's gone down 4 spots. Johnny down 3, Ash down 2. We're on the way home here for the final race of Season 4 in Pacific Tier 3. I've got to say, these guys have put on an entertaining show, to say the least. Again, I do apologise for the drop phrase, but it's out of my control, unfortunately. He's tried everything, has Lunacy, to get the race win and to try and get second in the championship, and he's just going to fall short, unfortunately. So it'll be Lunacy that'll win the race on track in the final race. Artie Chengs does get the fastest lap of the race, so he'll take an extra point away. It'll be MJJ that takes the final race victory of Season 4 here in Brazil. Lunacy gets second, and Pump Stiff gets 3rd position, so that'll be good enough for him to take 4th in the championship. My memory serves me correctly. I completely forgot about that one. Stig ends up in 5th, Ash in 6th. Honest Crook gets 7th place in the end. Johnny will finish in 8th across the line, but of course Smeg will probably get that. And there we go. So Smeg does enough to get second in the championship. So he just does it. It was very, very tight towards the end, but he just did enough in the end. So Smeg will finish second in the championship. Lunacy will get 3rd in the championship. And I think, like I said, Pup Mastiff should get 4th in the championship. So Schooner Batata will drop back to 5th in the championship, and he finishes in 11th there on the 13-lap-old hard competent tyres. And we wait for Artie Chengs, who will get the extra bonus point for the fastest lap. I think he's still trying to push for maybe go for another flying lap here, but I think he's just fallen short there in the end. So, that was, well, sort of a bit of up and down, you could say the least. It's Pup Mastiff, probably deserving, gets the driver of the day, so big congratulations to him. But yeah, we'll have a look at the podium celebration. So MJJ just pretty much did the job there. Didn't really need to fight with Lunacy, because he knew Lunacy had that 5-second penalty. Just needed to keep it clean, keep the gap under 5 seconds, and it was good enough to take the race victory. Is this, what number, is this his first win of the season? Let me have a look. Yes, it is his first win of the season, so big congratulations to MJJ. He might actually vault up in the championship as well. But anyway, so MJJ takes the final race victory for Pacific Tier 3 in Race Spec. Ahead of Lunacy, he finishes 3.164 seconds off the win there in the end, so he'll finish up on the 2nd spot and third in the championship, I should say. Pup Mastiff there from 8th to 3rd, so he gets a podium there. Metz in 4th, Stig in 5th, Ash in 6th. Honest Crook there in 7th. Smeg in 8th. Johnny in 9th, and Power Sight rounds out your top 10, and outside the 10, obviously, Skinner Matana 11th, Artie Cheng's in 12th, and Chapasaurus Rex, who fortunately had some internet issues and disconnected, I think. Well, his car finished a lap down, but he will not be classified. Not that it matters too much, because the championship is pretty much done and dusted nonetheless. So that is pretty much gonna be it, I think. Actually, we'll not do that one. We'll keep on the screen for the time being. But we'll get out of the lobby for the time being. But I'll be back hopefully in another 15, well, it's actually 18 minutes, actually, if I get my times right, to finish off Pacific Tier 4. Obviously, their championship is pretty much done and dusted. There's still a few minor placings still to sort out there as well. But I just got to say, big thank you to everybody who came and watched these streams. I know it was a bit up and down to start with throughout the whole season. But I think I've sorted out all the dramas there. There obviously will still be drop frames along the way, but hey ho, that's what you get when you live in a country area, and the internet's probably not as great as what you get in the city. But I've got to say, big thank you to everybody, like I mentioned before, for tuning in with all the support as well for me. Because say it was a tricky transition, but transitioning away from the driving side of things, I actually enjoyed the commentary side of things. Like I said, I think I joined from like round 7 of the championship, which is in Australia, round 6 or 7 from memory. And, we had the ups and downs, but the championship battles went all the way pretty much to the end of the season. So can't thank everybody enough for tuning in. Hopefully I'll come back again next season. I don't know where or when I'll be, but I'll definitely be back in the driver's seat, but I'll definitely want to come back and do a bit of commentary somewhere. I don't know, like I said, where, but I think nearly I'll finish it up. Big thank you to Plebs as well, and all his team for putting on great season, to especially to the Tier 3 guys, to Lunacy, who of course is the league coordinator for Tier 3. Big ups to these guys for allowing me to come into the commentary box and streaming these races. I think they really appreciate it. So a big thank you to all the drivers that turned out for these as well. But yeah, that's pretty much nearly me done and dusted, I think. So smash the like button if you did enjoy the live stream, and subscribe to the Race Spec Esports channel if you haven't already. We're getting closer, I think, to 1,500 subscribers. So be sure to smash the subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss out when a live stream is happening. But if you want to follow their social media accounts, they're down in the description. So if you want to keep an eye out for when Season 5 news is coming out, be sure to tune in for that. There's a link as well to the Discord down in the description if you want to come and get yourself prepared for F1 2021. There's even a link below for the GT Sport League if you're interested in that. It's probably dependent on what days you're... I think it's Saturday night for me in Australia, but for others it may vary, of course. But those links are down there. If you want to come follow me on my social media links, they're down in the description, plus my YouTube channel as well. I'm getting invites from Reedy already to do T4, so I better wrap this up very quickly. Big thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And yeah, Chapasaurus Rex is your Tier 3 champion for Pacific Series 3. We already knew that already. So, and the Renault are the Constructors champions for series for Season 4. So, yeah, I'm not really good at these sort of things. So, I'll wrap it up now. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And for the time being, I'll be back in another 15 minutes. But if you're not staying around, then I'll probably see you again sometime next season. Goodbye.